Of Hummingbot Live, our weekly live stream for the community, where we just go through and showcase some of the features that we are building in Hummingbot. My name is Mike. I'm one of the co-founders of Hummingbot, the open source project that helps market makers and algo traders build basically anything they want in crypto. So traditionally, Hummingbot's been used to build arbitrage bots, market making bots, and now I think with all the Solana dexes, I'm really excited to start delving into like automating LP functionality, like adding and removing liquidity from concentrated liquidity in automatic market maker pools. Let me check Discord and start doing stuff. So I think yes, you can comment either in Discord and we have a live streams channel, or actually, are we starting off? Yeah, starting off. Okay, all right. So yeah, we're starting now, and then yeah, let me open YouTube as well. Try to look for comments there. 1 second. I think. Let's see. There we go. 7 people watching. Mute this. Mute. Okay. Bring this over here. Okay. All right. So great. Yeah, great to see a few folks watching. We're going to record this always and put it on our channels. But the main goal of this, honestly, is just to try to get people to understand what we're trying to build, and hopefully use what we're trying to build. So yeah, just to set the stage for today's live stream. Last week, I went through and I demoed, I think, the AMM trade script and a few other basic scripts we had here. I think I went through and I demoed this one, where you can create a price feed using Hummingbot, and I think I also demonstrated this one here, where you can automatically trigger a trade on a DEX when the price reaches a certain level. So I think, and so what we're using here is the Gateway API, which is basically middleware that integrates to a bunch of DEXs and standardizes the functionality. So right now I'm running Gateway in encrypted mode, which allows Hummingbot to speak to it. But now I'm going to stop it and rerun using this dev flag. Let me make the screen a little bigger, and make this a little bigger too. And then the dev flag will allow me to just basically look at and use the endpoints directly, and because it exposes the ports. So now let's take a look at the Gateway endpoints, and we can see the functionality that it has as for the DEXs that it supports. So to do that, you can go to 1588 /docs, and this shows the Gateway API docs, and this is interactive, so you can interact with all of these endpoints. So there's a few. I think we took a look at these last time, where we can look at the configurations for the different DEXs, add and remove wallets, and then see kind of like these basic chain endpoints where you're getting the status based on the node provider, fetching tokens, balances, and so forth. Note here is that I think the Solana ones are the kind of the minimum viable endpoints that a chain needs. Ethereum, because there's a concept of allowances and approvals, also supports these features along with wrapping. So currently we don't, I would say, because we're trying to focus on support the basics still, I think we'll probably need to wait until a future release, probably 2.8 perhaps, to add new chains, because I don't want to accommodate too many standards, because the focus of Gateway is really about integrating to the DEXs out there, the exchanges that people want to trade on. Just like how Hummingbot, the focus is on integrating with exchanges that are centralized. Gateway is really focused on decentralized exchanges. So the current ones we support are Jupiter, Raydium, Meteora, and Uniswap. And so, and actually, maintaining each of these is a lot of work, because there's kind of different standards they support. So, for example, Uniswap, there's like the router, which is kind of like, they actually try to kind of like hide everything behind the scenes. So you can be even trading across different chains. And it's kind of wise on mainnet. and they also have the V2 pools, which are kind of like the standard AMMs, and then the V3 pools, which allow you to concentrate liquidity in a range around the mid price. So I think the best way to illustrate this is probably the Raydium one, because Solana fees are much lower. There's a lot more like meme coins and those kind of things. So personally, I only do like LPing on Solana, but that's kind of why I would say I'll use the Solana Raydium as a demo today. But what you're doing should work on Uniswap as well, or pretty much any DEX that might get added to this in the future. So for Raydium, we can see that the so we have like kind of these routes here for fetching information about AMM and interacting with an AMM pool, and then we also have very similar routes for concentrated liquidity pools. So these are basically interacting with the Raydium, with these pools here. So there's concentrated pools you can see here, and then there's standard as well. Take a break, drink some coffee, and then I also kind of I should also actually ask for questions as well. If I'm going too fast, just feel free to post some questions in the chat in Discord or in YouTube, and then otherwise I will continue here. So basically the idea of this is to allow people to automatically interact with these pools, so you can either you can do swaps, but the main idea is mostly adding and removing liquidity. So we have some basic scripts that we have here that allow you to do this. So probably the one that I would use is probably this one, the CLM managed position one. So this one is currently directly using these methods via the HTTP client. I would say that's probably not. That's why it's like very long, because it's doing a lot of stuff manually, like polling for status, checking the signatures, everything. The connectors. This is kind of like the role of the connectors is to like handle this at a higher level. However, there are some issues right now with the gateway LP connector still. That's why I did create this version here called LP managed position, which does use a connector. But I think there's still some inconsistencies with this version. So if you're doing testing, I would run this version that's just using the HTTP client directly, and then also try to modify scripts based on that one. So let's go ahead and test this one out based on, and this one is going to work on the concentrated liquidity one. This LP managed position one actually should work on either both AMMs and CLMMs. But I think that this one probably needs some more testing. So let's go ahead and test out this script and try to create a simple script that basically automatically creates a position on Raydium when the price reaches a certain level, monitors it, and then closes it if that position goes out of range. Okay. All right. So let's first create let's first pick the pool that we'll be using first. So so if you want to follow along, I guess one thing I should know is I'm using this gateway, Feet Gateway 2.6 pull request in Hummingbot, and the matching one, which is Gateway 2.6 in Gateway. So I'm running both of these source because they're still in development, and that's why. But these branches should be merged into the next release of Hummingbot, which should be out. It's actually pretty much done. We're just waiting for this PR to be merged in, and should be basically done by Monday or so. All right, so let's pick the pool. Let's go ahead and just use the Sol USDC pool for now. So yeah, let's go ahead and use this one here, and we just want to basically just make sure we can create a position automatically, and then before we move on to more complex strategies. So let's go ahead and configure this script. So first thing I'll do is I need to make sure I'm going to run gateway in this mode here with the encrypted mode. Create the script config for it. So first, I'm going to pick the connector. So yeah, there's a we do have this kind of helpful here. This some of the stuff, the autocomplete needs some work. So all right, pick that pool. So yeah, let's get the pool address here as well. We do have so let's pick the pool address. So we're doing this pool. Okay. Okay. So the target price. So currently the target price is about 150. So let's just make sure we can open it. So let's say we'll open it if the price rises above 150. Here. Okay. Trigger price above. True. So position width 10%. So what this will do is it'll create a position. You know, basically evenly distributed around the price. So if the price is 150, it'll create kind of like a range of like, you know, yeah, what is that, like yeah, doing the math, like, you know, 142.5 to 157.5. All right, so let's just try to do the basics here and try to make sure this works first. So first, and then because we're setting it kind of around the price like this, you know, roughly we'll have like half and half. So for example, if we say we can simulate this by saying 142.5 to 157.5, that's around 10% position. Yeah, so actually, yeah, so this one would be something like yeah, like so 0.1 sol would be about 22 here. So currently in my wallet, let's see how much we have. So we have about yeah, 0.6 sol and 20 USDC. So I'll probably just do like, you know, 0.05 for now as a test. And for the quote, yeah, we'll maybe like do like 10 there as well. All right, so now what we also want to do is monitor this position, and after we created it, because that's the whole point of a bot, right? And the way we'll monitor it is to say if the, you know, we'll just say, you know, I'll say just is a position active or not, as in you know, is a price within this threshold, and if it is, I'll be earning the swap fees. However, if the price moves outside the range, then I'm not earning any swap fees, so I probably want to remove that liquidity from the pool. So this is kind of an arbitrary example. Obviously, you probably wouldn't, you know, do this in a strategy, but later on, we are going to actually put some more useful strategies in place. But we created this sample strategy just really as a test to ensure that the endpoints are working properly, and then we can actually get a transaction confirmed automatically. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and just use this. So yeah, we'll just say if the position moves outside the price by 1%, we'll close it, and then we don't want to close it, you know, if the price is kind of toggling back and forth. So we'll say the price has to be outside the range for at least 1 minute or 60 seconds before we actually close it. All right, so let's go ahead and save that as a configuration, and then we can go ahead and start it. So you probably want to have gateway running alongside of it, so you can see what's happening on the gateway side and on the Hummingbot side with the logs like this as well. So I have like both logs open like this. Start. Oh, by the way, actually, before we start that, I should mention we should look at this this file just to make sure that it has the right contents. So let's go ahead and look at the file, which is in conf scripts, and here we go. So so you can see that yeah, it has a file name, so it knows which script it belongs to, and these other settings look correct as well. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and start that script. Okay, so it looks like it created created, and then now it's fetching information for the pool. So it's within range. So this is where, so if I do the status like this, so yeah, we currently are in the position. It's currently in range, and it's basically just fetching information from the pool like this, you know, and continuing to monitor it. I would say we can probably improve this a little bit. We probably don't want to, you know, ping the node every second like this, checking for status. That will just consume our node rate limits. So let me stop this. So it is working, and so I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to do a bit more of a better test, maybe, and maybe put a more precise range in place, and to see if it still works. So I think we can do this with probably a more volatile token as well, and then try to see if this works at a smaller scale. Okay, so so let's yeah, so let's go ahead and actually kind of change the settings a little bit to kind of like maybe put it a little more precisely what the pool is. Okay, so all right, so I'll stop this. Let's see, I'll stop this here. Yeah, so I'll stop this here, and then I'll basically I'll revise the script to say, let's see, what the current price of Solana is. Let's see, 151. So yeah, let's make this a little bit more aggressive. So let's say if the price rises above 151.5, and then we'll do a much smaller position. So let's do something like, like a 1% maybe. Yeah, we got 1%. Or actually, let's do even fact. So we actually do want to make sure that the script is going to close position as well. So I kind of do want to set a really tight position if I can. So let's try to set a really tight one. So let's go with let's go with, like, instead of 1%, let's go with 0. Yeah, let's go with 0.5%. Let's go 0.1. Like that. How much is that? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's try that, and that way we can really see how much of that it works. So yeah, that should still work, I believe. So 0.1% width, and if it moves out, we'll just set that immediately. So current price is 159.3. Let's set it to, I do want to create the position, so let's set it to 151.2. Okay, so let's try to create, so now we're kind of really testing the boundaries. Before it was a 10% position, obviously, you know, that worked. So now we're creating a 0.1% position width. Okay, so that position was created, and we can see here, should be able to see that position here as well. That was our first position, and here's our second one that was created. So this one is still within width, but I'm actually hoping the price moves outside so we can see, we can make sure that the script will automatically close it when the price moves outside as well. Let me I'll remove this one while we're at it, so we can have some more funds to play with. But so now we've confirmed that Hummingbot was able to automatically create a very small position, a very narrow position, in Raydium automatically. But now I think this actually opens up the range of possibilities a lot more. So first let's actually make sure this works. I do want to make sure that we can automatically close positions as well. And the reason I'm doing this testing is because this is all pretty new, and our QA team has been testing these individual endpoints and making sure they work. But we haven't tested extensively, in a strategy, mainly because, we kind of want to see what people can build with this API. So currently I would say, I think this is actually working. We probably could check the price with less frequency, or at least print the logs, with a lower log level. But it does seem like it's working. So I'm actually hoping the price rises a bit more, so we can actually close the position out and see if this is actually working or not. Oh, okay, now it's out of range. Let's see, is it out of range? Yes, it's out of range. So it should say that. It still says within range here, though. Yeah. So the script actually does have an issue, because currently the price is out of range, but here it still says it is within range. So that's why actually let's stop this, and let's see. I see. So basically, I think what's happening here is it's calculating the range based on the current price, instead of actually fetching the information from the pool, I believe. Yeah. Well, it's fetching the price here, but it's not using the pool parameters. Okay. All right. So, we probably need to fix the script itself. So I think this is more of an issue where the script is not getting the info for the position and comparing it to the current price. Okay, that's within range. 152. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and actually try to fix this using some AI editing tools. So I use Claude Code myself, but we can use all of them. So let's go ahead and tell Claude what happened, and see if Claude can help us fix this issue. So let's pull the logs. Let's see, the logs will be helpful. So we have here. So we probably need our configuration. We probably need the script itself, which is here. And then I also want to give Claude the logs. So let me find the logs. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Help me fix position. Position was created successfully, but after it moved out of range, the price. Pushing values, check logs. I should be able to add this. I don't know why I can't add this. So I'll just full name. And the conf. tested this using gateway running on local. He'll be able to test endpoints. So let's see. Actually, no. Actually, I think that we can probably pull the actual. See, yeah, they should be able to use the position info route. Yeah. Actually, so the script should be using the so this is position info out in client. Okay, is that enough? Yeah, should be enough. Actually, let me yeah, let's go with that. See what it says. All right, where's my questions? I do see a question. Is there someone I can contact someone at Hummingbot to get assistance with using the bot as I'm coding naive? I would say there is like a dev wanted channel in our Discord, but yeah, we're a small team. You know, our goal is to maintain the open source project, so we don't offer custom support. But yeah, overall, I think AI is really good at helping people use Hummingbot and also and basically anything coding related. So right now, I just have a vague idea of what the issue is, and I just basically I just kind of tossed everything into the AI agent, and I kind of wanted to see make sure it's doing properly. So yeah, let's see what it does. So it looks like it's gonna make some fixes here. Let's see, position info, yes. Just make some edits. Do some vibe coding, but yeah, overall, so these are really just test scripts for now. That's why I think at least in this release, our goal is to really just make sure the endpoints for Gateway all work, and that these test scripts allow people to start implementing them. Actually, there's more changes coming in the next release, 2.7, because in that one, we're going to kind of really improve how Hummingbot talks to Gateway. Because right now that interface is still kind of janky. So for instance, like when you connect to an exchange, there's like when you pull gateway balance, you're pulling for like 3 different dexes instead of for a network. So things like that. And so yeah, there's definitely things that we can do better. So let's go ahead and see if that works. So it looks like it added, let's see, it added a fetch position info. Yep, okay, info. Yeah, we do need to get the position info, that's right. Let's see, and then it added some other stuff. Okay, all right, so, so it looks like it thinks that it worked. And so let's go ahead and test it out. First, we will, let's go ahead and close that other position we had over here. So we'll close this one. All right, so what we should see, hopefully, is this time, let's exit this one and start it again. So what we should see this time is opening the position, and then after the position moves, it will do that. So actually, let me make sure the price is still what we think it is. Let's see, price 151.5. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's try that. Current price is not met yet. Okay, so let's stop that. It's 158 now. Interesting. And then let's make it lower. 150.5. And I'm going to go even more aggressive and go for 0.05 percent width. Let's try that. So to really force this thing to monitor and to update. Actually, no, that's probably not a good idea. I think it's already pretty tight already. So let's try that again. Okay. Oops. What's going on here? Oh, that was the wrong script file. Sometimes it happens with Hummingbot, unfortunately. Okay, so position has been created. And it's now is being monitored. Got it. Yeah, Johan asked, what is the point just closing the position? Cannot quite follow the logic. Yeah, so right now, I would say the point is really to make sure that we can automate something. So that automation is automatically creating a position, monitoring to see if the price is still within range. If the price is within range, what it means is I'm earning 0.4% every time someone does a swap within the range. If the price moves outside the range, then the script will automatically close it after it moves for a certain amount of time. So the point is really just to make sure that that simple process works. Can I automatically trigger an opening of a position based on a price action? Can I monitor that position to see the status? And can I automatically remove that position based on certain criteria as well? So once those three things are possible, that opens up the range of possibilities even more. And I think that kind of customization, I actually wanted to get into that custom strategy stuff today. That might have to wait for a bit longer because, as you can see, we're still trying to do some of the basics in certain terms of just automating the querying of prices and pulling and automating the closing open positions. But once this is done, then we can create more complex strategies. I actually have an idea for something I call a limited range order, which is a lot of time when you're placing these kind of positions, what you ideally want is when a price spikes, you want to kind of close out or rebalance that position. And I think you kind of do this within this range order kind of concept. But overall, this is still very nascent, right? This is still new, and we have to test the basics before we build more complex strategies. Okay, so now the position is out of range. It still says it's within range here. This is actually kind of interesting. So let me query status. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is actually, see right now it still says it's in range here. It's fetching information for the price. Yeah, okay. So let me stop this bot. So I think part of the problem is that currently, let's see, the position price range is here. The current price is, that's right, yeah, yes. Oh, okay, now it's in range again. Oh, I see, okay. I think it actually was working because the current, yeah, this is the right price. Okay, let me actually have Claude take a look because I think I think it was actually working, but it wasn't actually. I think it's that it's some this. I feel like this logic here is not that right. I see a question from Malik. We'll try to make this work on Hyper EVM. Is the Uniswap LP gateway configs all working? Yeah, I would say Hyper EVM. I think someone has already built a connector. I would check Discord AMM connectors channel. I think someone actually built this already for Hyper EVM. It should be very simple. You can kind of just copy the Uniswap folder, I think. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I think the main thing is I would say it's kind of like, as you can see, we're still doing a lot of testing here. So I would say if you want to you can kind of copy what we're doing and do it yourself. But right now I think the goal of this is primarily to make sure that all the endpoints work. We can in the next couple of releases we can gradually get more and more of these test scripts in place. So with Uniswap, it's very similar. So if you basically look at Uniswap routes here, there's the same kind of routes, and each of these routes is in a separate like a file basically. So I think if you look at the gateway connector code base, or just have like OpenAI or Claude look at it, it should be able to just say look at the Uniswap folder and copy it for Hyper EVM. And I would just do that, and then you probably have to like check all the endpoints, make sure they work properly, and just pass all the bugs into the AI. But because the code for Uniswap is already there, and it can look at the other connectors as well for reference, it should be very straightforward. Uniswap SDK or smart contract, mostly through the SDK. That's what this is designed to do. I think there are a few routes where it just imports ABI and interacts with a smart contract directly. Actually, that's why you can actually do that. I think that a few of these routes here are just importing ABI and it's calling the function. So I think I'm not sure how it works for Hyper EVM, but again, actually, there's actually I would just go on Discord. I think someone's already done this. Actually, let me look in Discord here. Yeah, so I also would just look at what this guy's already built. I think there's a let's see. Yeah. So there's already a Hyper EVM integration that someone has forked. So I would probably look at what they've done here. Let's see, HyperSwap. Let's see. Yeah, I'll look at, but the one note is that we are going to make some changes to the connectors in 2.7 because right now the way that this works is kind of like Hummingbot is just making Gateway do all the work and saying, hey, Gateway, create a position, and then, so Gateway will create a position like this, and then it'll pass that information back to Hummingbot. But you actually want more control than this. So in the 2.7 version of Hummingbot, I'm actively trying to improve this. So for example, if you look at this one here, this Gateway 2.7 branch, in the docs, there's some docs about how what's being refactored and the point of the refactoring. But the main idea is that in 2.7, Hummingbot should have more control because it has more visibility into exactly what's being done on the gateway side, and it can kind of manage it better. And basically kind of like rebuilding the whole like HTTP client kind of aspect of it. So that's why I actually don't recommend adding connectors at this point, because a lot of the stuff that we're doing now, a lot of the current connectors is going to change. So if you add a connector, you're going to have to end up like changing it probably in a couple of releases. But that's why. So currently, that's why I'll show you guys how it works. And but yeah, right now there's no like great strategies you can probably run for this. But I do think there are, the strategies are there's a lot of potential strategies you can run with this. And so I think a lot of the basics ones are about kind of like simulating limit orders and like kind of like stop loss kind of orders, but using ranges on dexes. So for example, I think that a lot of the time, for example, right now, actually, I'll try to do this. Let's try to fix this issue first, and then I'll try to create an actual strategy that I would run myself using Gateway. Okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and yeah, so let's close this position here. Let's go back to Claude. Okay, so yeah, so according to Claude, the script is recalculating the position bounds instead of fetching the actual position values. That's what I thought. All right, so now let's go ahead and try it again. We will set, yeah, 0.1% is good. I think that was, it was narrow enough that it moved around quite a bit. So we'll try it again, and hopefully the position will be detected properly and closed if it moves out of range. Oh, we have to update the price because the price has dropped. So now it's 140.8. Oh, actually, never mind. Oh, wait, never mind. Why is this not working? Something's not working. Yes, it's not working, but it's not talking to Gateway. Okay. Huh, interesting. So yeah, it had some problems opening the position for some reason. Oh, okay. No, actually, okay, yes, it did. So actually, it did create the position, but something went wrong. So yes, and a lot of times there are going to be a bunch of issues like this because of latency and other things like that. So just now, I think we actually did create the position, but it actually did work. Never mind. Oh, actually, I think it did work. I stopped it. I was actually too aggressive. I think it actually did work because see, price is within range. So I think actually it already did create it. Yeah, I think it did. Okay. All right, let's try that again. So okay, so the pool is created, and then we're monitoring the price, and hopefully, if the price moves out, it will be closed. And now the market is much less volatile than it used to be. We can also place, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and just try this. So in the meantime, if you have kind of ideas for what kind of strategies you want to build, now that you kind of know that we have the ability to basically open a position and remove positions programmatically, let me know. What I'm gonna do is I'll explain kind of the concept of a very simple strategy that I call a limit range order, and I'll try to at least start implementing that today, and we'll try to at least either do it today or finish the implementation in next time. So I'll explain this as we're waiting to see if this position moves out of range and if our script closes it. So the overall idea to me is that on AM, I think you want to use dexes the way they're intended to be used. So I don't think you want to set a limit order per se. Oh, there it's out of range. Great. So hopefully, is it info status? Is it in? Yeah, it's out of range. Why does it say within range? Damn it. Damn it. Still not working. Hey. Okay. This is actually working before. I swear that I was like, I think Claude like screwed this up because, oh yeah. Okay, so hopefully this bug will get fixed. This should be a very simple bug for Claude to fix because it's very clear that this position range here is not this right here. So yeah, this is not the right range we're looking at. Oh, the buffer. Oh, right. Oh, you know what? This actually might be correct. Wait a second. Oh, I forgot about the out of range percentage. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So that's actually within. Okay, so that's actually correct. What we want to do is we want to adjust this buffer to 0, and we want to adjust this out of range seconds to like 5. Yeah, let's go 10 seconds. Okay. All right. So let's try this. Let's try it actually. Okay. Add the time as well. And let's see. Yeah, Melinda says, welcome to a bunch of stuff not working after another. Well, I would say that that's kind of like that's the persistent struggle, I think, with trading bots. There's always something that is not working, and so but that's why I think the end goal is to have something ideally very simple that you can really rely on. So that's why a lot of the testing we're doing, it's not about building a super complex bot. It's really kind of like, can you do a basic arbitrage strategy, and will it work across all the different exchanges, all the different trading pairs, all the different kind of like price levels and everything that you may want to do. So that's why I think tracking like this in status is really helpful. I find kind of like using AI to just log as much as possible. That kind of stuff is helpful. All right, so I think we made some improvements to the script. I think it was actually working properly. We did set the out of range buffer to 0 now. So now let's try that again. Let's see, do we open our position on Raydium? Okay, we still have a position open on Raydium, so let's close this one out. And we'll try it again. I think this time I'm confident that we can successfully create a position and monitor it and perhaps even close it. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so we're at we want to open a position at 150.2. Let's just stop this and I'll move it down a bit. Okay, so it closed the position. Error opening position. That's not good. So sometimes. Oh, okay. I see. The price dropped. The price dropped before, and the position was not created successfully. Okay, that's good. That's actually expected behavior. So let's stop that. We'll lower the price even more. And we'll try it again. Okay. Oh. Interesting. Insufficient funds. Wait a second. What? Oh, okay. It's because I think the simulation failed. Yes, the simulation failed. Okay. So yeah, and this can actually happen if you're kind of like if you're setting really, really narrow positions, unfortunately. Yeah, that's part of the issue here as well. Okay, so let's try that again. Yeah, so. Do I have any funds here? Let me sure I have the funds here. Solana, I do have. Oh, okay. The problem here is this. I think. Oh yes, that we don't have any more USDC here. That's probably the issue. So let me swap out and get some more USDC, and then we can do that. Yeah, the error handling in this script is not very good right now. Apologize for that, but yeah. So let's sell some USDC and get some USDC. That should help us do the test. Probably because all those little ranges we set because the price was dropping, we were actually acquiring SOL along the way. So now we have Solana, we have some USDC, we have some random vibeco.fun meme coins, and some Raydium in our dev wallet. So all right, so now let's try it again. I think now we have USDC. It should actually work. Okay, so now it did actually open a position, I believe. There you go. And so, yeah, let's monitor it and see if this price moves at all outside the range. Then we would close it. So yeah, looks like we can even do a status live here. Look at that! Look at that beautiful status. All right, so I'm hopeful that this, when the price moves outside this range, which given the volatility of the market, and I'm sure it will soon, that the script will do the right thing and close it. But yeah, as I mentioned, let me go ahead and explain the more complex limit range order concept that I have, and I think it'd be a good way to actually build something that we would actually use. I would use using this. So the overall idea is that I think there's there's certain tokens that I own, and others there's others that, like for instance Solana, like Solana Raydium is probably a good example. So I own both Solana and Raydium, and in part because I think Raydium is the largest, most active DEX on Solana. So it's kind of like owning the S&P 500 and the Apple stock, or maybe or something like that. So there's obviously a very high correlation between the price of Raydium and Solana. So if we look at the Raydium Sol price, the Raydium price is very volatile, but the Raydium price relative to Sol is, oh yeah, here we go. Let's see if it's it will remove it. So we're closing position soon. Is it closing the position? Closing position. Oh, it closed the position. Yes. I'm always happy when the bot actually works instead of not working. So there you go. So that was opening position. Do we open? Okay, stop. Okay, all right. So yeah. So that was actually basically the script. I'm actually going to update the PR with this change. I think that was a helpful addition to the script. It made it work better for one, actually work, and I think the changes to status are very helpful. So yeah, let me just push those changes. Actually, let me have Claude do it. All right. Okay. So so that was a change we made. So let's take a look at the change we actually made in the PR itself. So here is what we did. So here we go. Here's the actual commit. So as a summary, let's see, close, terminate the session. Yeah, terminate. So as a summary, we added this fetch position info method that will actually get the real positions bounds from the blockchain, and then it will actually use those position bounds, compare that to the current price, and and decide if it should close the position afterwards. And then we also improve the status function in order to help you determine what's going on. So as a preview, let me kind of explain a little bit how. So this is kind of like a basic building block, right? It's like now we have the ability to get information about a pool, get information about a position, do quoting for positions and swaps, and then also execute opening positions and removing positions across different exchanges. So the methods are the same for Raydium, Meteora, and Raydium. So you have to change the pool address and other things like that. But now that we have this basic building block, I think it's more interesting what kind of strategies you can actually build with it. So the first one I want to try to build is something I call a limit range order. And the overall idea is that if you have tokens that you may want to hold, or like this, sometimes you want to buy or sell tokens, using ranges like this. But there might be situations where, let's say, you want to buy if the price goes down, but if the price moves up again, you don't want to sell, but you kind of want to rebalance the range and then kind of close out the amount you've purchased. So what I kind of imagine is a liquidity range. So let's say for Raydium, maybe let's say so right now Raydium Sol is trading at let's see, at a price of I do this the other way around. So do this. Yeah. So right now the Raydium I think is trading at around 70 Ray to Sol. Historically, it's actually traded higher, but I would say it was actually a lower for most for the last part of that year. And so when I look at this chart, I think you can actually kind of see the story here, which is Raydium is the main kind of the DEX where people are swapping. If you look at the DEX activity, Raydium is 90%, probably 80%. So I think that when meme coins are pumping, when there's a bull market, the Sol Raydium price, or basically Raydium tends to be get more expensive relative to Sol. Why? Because volumes are higher. So during this part here, this is like November to March this year, when people were trading meme coins. And recently, Raydium also launched their Launch Lab product, so that's why I think that the price went. But overall, though, I think to me it's if I think that because meme coins are here to stay, I think that Raydium relative to Solana, the price of Raydium will eventually appreciate relative to Sol. So that's why to me it's more like if the price, I'm kind of like a buyer at the current price, but I'm even more so of a buyer if the price goes up. So what I want to do is I want to have some type of order where, if the price goes up, I'll buy, but then if the price goes down, I want to keep what I've bought, so to speak, right? So, and you can also do this the other way around, right? There might be something I want to sell. I want to sell if the price goes up by a certain level, but I want to keep what I sold, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I call it a limit range order, because basically it would be essentially a range where it's like you're setting a range like this. Let's see, I'll try to draw like this. So it's more like actually I think it's like one of these things, a parallel channel. Yeah, so actually, yeah, it's probably like that. This is not a good parallel channel. So it'll probably more like this. Actually, more like this, where I think I would want to have something like a range like this, where it's like based on the current price, it would go up. But let's say the price did move up to here, right? Then I would want to kind of like have the range, kind of like basic. Become narrower, so that let's say the price goes to here. If the price goes down again, then I would basically keep what I bought. so to speak. So essentially, it's a range that as the price moves into it at different levels, it would close and then reopen, and get narrower every time. And then you can also imagine, it's a kind of more complex version of this. But I think something that kind of does this and helps you kind of either buy or sell something, basically using a liquidity range, simulating a limit order, I think would be an interesting idea. The other benefit of using ranges like this is if the price just happens to, to move around. Let's say like this line here is my rebalancing level, so I only want to kind of like to rebalance if the price goes here. If the price goes here and never crosses this line and just like stays in this range here, that's actually not a bad thing because I'm earning swap fees, while it's in range. So let's go ahead and try to let's go ahead and try to at least have Claude simulate that and see what it can do. Okay, create a script based on called limit the script should set a single-sided range position on a CLM DEX based on params that the user defines. As price moves through the range, are levels where the position is closed and reopened as single-sided, so that the amount that has been bought or sold is kept. These levels. So yeah, also just one design point is there's actually another way you can do this where instead of setting one large position and then kind of rebalancing and like making it narrow, kind of like an accordion, you could also basically define your rebalancing points ahead of time and say, let me create 4 positions. And then once each one moves out of range, I'm going to close out and so forth. I would say, I think, I would actually recommend this approach, to be honest, because I think the cost of opening and closing a position isn't that high. It's the same, and it's kind of like, but the cost of like actually creating a position might be more expensive. But I think there's different ways to approach this problem. Can we set text ranges for Uniswap? Johan, that's Uniswap v3. So v2, you cannot set ranges for, but v3 you can. So if you're using this Uniswap CLMM connector, then you basically have to set range. So that's really the difference between v2 and v3. It's concentrated versus non-concentrated. These levels are defined as params. All right, I think this is good enough. Any questions? Any questions? All right, so let me see what Claude can do based on the current one that we have. So yeah. But yeah, do you have questions about how this strategy works? Let me know. But basically, what I want to use it for, honestly, is I'm basically gonna set a range like this because, in my opinion, if like this price movement here, was when not called undeserved, but I think Raydium is cheap right now relative to Sol. and I'm happy to exchange some of my Solana for Raydium if the price continues to go up. So so what I'm trying to do is have a very simple strategy where it's like I'll create the script will, I'll just say, something like I'll define probably like an amount, probably an amount, a range, probably in percentage probably, and say if like based on current price, as the price moves up, if the price moves 10% by the full amount, if the price moves up, every 2%, make sure you kept what you bought and rebalance after every 5 levels, basically. So, yeah, that's basically it. Let's see. Okay. Okay, analyzing the requirements, reading stuff. It's not using many tokens, which is kind of strange, but But yeah, just as a segue, overall, I think that right now, these are just the basic building blocks. It's like if we kind of have this like limited range order working correctly, I think that can be almost like a primitive in a more complex strategy. So that's why right now my main goal is to make sure that the core kind of works, and the interaction between Hummingbot and Gateway is like clean. That's why we're still doing refactoring, because as you can see, there's still a lot of edge cases, which is why I think that the simpler you can make how it works, the better in the long run. Right now, unfortunately, because we built it, this has actually been like a 5-year-old repo. There's a lot of like stuff that I'm trying to pull out and replace, but I'm confident that once we actually finish that work in the next couple of months, it'll be much easier for people to use. All right, so it created the limit order strategy already. Let's see what it did. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's see. So the connector, chain, network, full address, right? Initial price. Yeah, actually, I would say, let's see, changes. Remove initial price, since we will always create one. Okay, position width, position, yes. Change close levels to %. So it's like if 10% position width, close actually I think I'm gonna rename this. Rename closed level percentage. I think we want to do something like okay, so rebalance. Remove that. When we recreate, we are creating single-sided with just the the quote or base asset. Okay. Johan asks, have you tried any stablecoin strategies with your bot and liquidity management? Do you have an integration with Aave? No, but I would say, yeah, you probably could. The I would say that lending protocols aren't really the focus, at least in the current term. I do think that because we're making these like large scale changes gateway, and now it opens a possibility for people to do stuff with like Aave and lending protocols and everything else. Um, I would say, yeah, it's probably not going to be the main focus initially, but people could build it. Personally, I do a lot with lending, staking, and LPing, primarily in Solana. So I'm very well aware of the kind of automations that you may want to do. But yeah, at least right now, I think because Hummingbot's more designed to be like an HFT tool. So those like lower frequency strategies are not what it's like designed for out of the box on. But yeah, down the road possibly. Oh, Johan says, why do you want to exit a position when you can wait till it's back in range? Right. Yeah. So the goal of this particular strategy is because yeah, you want to take advantage of ranges to buy or sell something. So it's almost like a limit order where you're saying, I want to buy Raydium, if the price drops a lot, but so my entire range is 10%. But let's say if because it's a range, if the price moves 2%, I'm gonna remove that 2% that I bought and put the range back in with like an 8% range. So that's the overall idea. And then kind of like because the maximum you overbuy is 10%, but the position kind of gets narrower as the price approaches that threshold. Oh yeah, Johan said you want to enter positions tick precise. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you can also just use the SDK if you want to do that, right? So, it's like I mean, yeah, it's like yeah. Right now, I think the inputs are based on price, and it is converting the price it takes behind the scene. But it's the whole purpose is so you can use prices instead of ticks. If you don't use ticks, just use the SDK. Right. Oh yeah, Hudson. Yeah. Oh, I'm really glad Hudson you mentioned this error because I was going to mention this, but one very important thing about if you're going to be using Gateway, especially on Solana, is that you need to change the Solana endpoints and not use the default. Because basically, when you set up Gateway, let me actually explain a bit more. So when you run Gateway, you have to pass through nodes, right? The big difference between blockchains is that so I have my node here. I'm not going to show it for long, but this is my quick node account. I have a paid URL. So because when you're hitting Solana, it's just very expensive. So what I suggest is getting a quick node, a chain stack or Alchemy node, and just using that on the free tier. And if you need more of that, you probably want to upgrade to the paid tier. I think we have the public URL here, but the public Solana URL is not going to be sufficient because it's rate limited very aggressively. So you would have to use a private node, I think, for Gateway. Oh yeah, Johan, when you work with stable, right? Yeah. So I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fair. So we actually probably can add the tick param in. To be honest, I would say I probably wouldn't add it in for the Solana dexes or for Uniswap. I think that the curve connector probably makes sense to do that for stables. But yeah, again, the way people use Hummingbot is kind of like they kind of add their own connectors, to be honest. So they kind of like, so yeah, you may want to just build your own if you want to use it for that actually. Okay, so now that we have, let's actually see about progress it has made. So yeah, it changed some of our script bounds. So now we have position by with amount, rebalance percentage. Okay, so okay. So when it reopens a position, the width should take into account the initial size. For example, if 10% width and we rebalance after 2%, the width should be 8%. So yeah, right now, yeah, there's a lot of cruft here. This script is probably like, 300 lines too long, because a lot of the stuff, like in terms of tracking positions, polling for the transition status, all this kind of stuff really should be managed by the gateway connector. But yeah, I think in 2.7 or 2.8 that we're going to improve this quite a lot. So the code will be less, but because the raw methods already exist in the HTTP client, it's just passing them into gateway. You should be able to write the code, even though it will be very verbose. Okay, all right. So now, all right. So now I think it's time we can test this out. So let's go ahead and test it. Do we have any positions of Raydium? I think we closed the one that we were using before. That's right. All right. So now let's go ahead and test it. Oh yeah. So I'll create the script config. Oops. That was not correct. So we have our new limit range order one here. So we will use Raydium CLMM pool address. I think I'm gonna, yeah. Let's try this this Raydium Sol pool. So yeah, because what I want to do is I want to set this range here, where I want to buy Raydium if it goes up, and actually I'll set a really narrow one so we can use it for testing. I do it like this, and then yeah, like 1% range, and rebalance every every small amount. So. Okay, let's see. So we want to do this one. Address. Okay, so we are going to buy here. Yes. So I'll set 1 amount to use. So total. So amount to use for Sol. So quote. Oh yeah. The problem is that I actually don't know which one's quote and which one's base here. So yeah, this is actually interesting. Okay. So okay, yeah, we probably need to change this a little bit, I think. So because right now this is amount. So let's try to use. I'll just use 1 for this. So. So I think this is not going to work because I'm not sure which one is base and which one's quote actually. So rebalance when the price moves by 0.1. Okay. All right. So let's start that. I think this is an issue because actually I probably need to define which one is base and quote. Is my initial impression, but we can see how it works. So you hit range. Okay. Actually, it is measuring price in terms of price change, rebalance. Oh, so it did create a position, and my position was, yeah. See, it was 0.1 ray. Okay, so actually that was right. So that the amount was correct. Wait, no, actually no, it wasn't. So, okay, no, I'm gonna stop because basically what I actually wanted to buy here. Yeah, I wanted to buy ray, and so the issue was. Yeah, the issue is I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's because this is Sol Ray, but I wanted to actually buy Ray Sol. Okay, got it. So let me ask, okay. Okay, the script worked, but pool was Sol Ray when I was expecting Ray Sol. Allow user to define kind of like base and quote token, so you know which one to use. Okay. All right. So let's try it again. I think we need to generate a new configuration this time. Actually, you know what? I can probably just revise the old one. So we have this one here. We have a conf scripts. Here we go. So damn it, we just need to add base token and quote token. So we want Ray. So yep. Okay. All right. So let's try that, and we can see if it works. Did I close my position here? I'm gonna close that. All right, so what we should see here now is it should create a position with 0.1 sol. And it'll look to purchase Raydium if the price drops. No, that's not correct. That's not right. Okay, so here what happened. But as a segue, this is basically how I code right now. I kind of like I just like scan over the changes that the AI has made, I spend most of my time kind of testing the output, kind of looking at a high level at what it's trying to do, and trying to steer it in the right direction. So what I found is it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's the AI is getting better and better. So the amount that you have to guide it is getting less every day. It's capable of doing more tasks by itself. So overall, I think the level of improvement is really significant. So it's like, no matter what you use, my personal favorite right now is Claude Code. But if you're using Copilot or OpenAI or Grok or whatever, they're all pretty good. Okay, so yeah, it's detecting this pool inversion thing. So I think that should hopefully fix it. This is actually a very simple script, so it shouldn't have that many problems with it. But yeah, this pool inversion thing is a little bit tricky because some pools are like Ray Sol, others are like Sol Ray, and so if you have to interact with the pool how it is. Oops. Okay, so it's detecting the pool inversion. Okay, looks like it's created the position. And it's still using 0.1 Sol. No. No, it's still... yeah, this is kind of dumb, actually. I'm surprised it's this bad. Usually it's actually smarter than this, I feel like. See, I think whenever you get this, you're absolutely right from Claude Code. What it means is that it's like some very basic thing that it was not understanding that it finally understood. It's like, Jesus. All right. No shit, Sherlock. Of course I want to buy Ray with Sol when it's inverted. My God. Okay. All right. Let's yeah. Let's debug some shit. Yeah. Of course, the pool info doesn't include token symbols. Wait. Oh, wait. I should actually have. See, actually the 2.7. This is actually one reason why I added gateway as a submodule, so that Hummingbot like AI can look at the gateway API spec, understand how it works, and then write the code to interact with it more seamlessly. Right now, it's kind of like it's not really aware of what's happening in the gateway side, so it's just like trying to write the code, but it doesn't have all the context. Is pool okay? All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, you want to add that parameter in? Sure. I feel like there's an easier way to do this, but whatever. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Exit. Let's close our current position here. You know what? Wait a second. This is stupid. All right, I'll try with this, but this thing should be able to just get the pool, use a pool info route, and figure this out instead of me having to define it here. But it is what it is. All right. Oh. So let's say, okay, I will go ahead and start this. Try this again. Yeah, Memento, it's always gonna agree with you. I found that like when you actually want that you're absolutely right thing, because it means that it's like now the model is like has actually really internalized that change you wanted, you know, because it basically, if it's depending on how enthusiastic it is, I think you can read some of what it's trying to do. Okay, all right. But yeah, let's see. Limit oriented order comp in here. So let's see if we're doing the correct thing right now. Okay, it looks like it opened it. Error opening position. Why is it having it? Yeah, it's getting a gateway error. Liquidity is okay. Yeah, there's some type of open. Looks like the simulation failed. Okay, all right. It's interesting. Memento, you don't let it compact. You stop and start it. Oh, interesting. All right. So we have to finish this up next time, but yeah, I want to just at least kind of like make sure that we are actually doing this correctly. I think what's happening here is that it's probably sending the wrong inputs, because the single-sided positions are very clean. So yeah, if you're getting this kind of thing, it's probably because you're sending the wrong instructions over to gateway. Okay, let's see. So let's see, pool address. Lower. Yeah, see, this is the problem here. So mm, mm, mm. Okay, yeah. So okay, when you pass params to gateway, uninverted prices. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I see why you you don't compact. I do agree. I think I find that for me, it's like usually I try to like use it to do like one task at a. Like usually it's a chain of tasks, and each one is like relatively small. So that's kind of why I think to me compacting makes sense because I wanted to have a context. The next small task I give it, it has like the knowledge of like all the other small tasks I did before. Um, um, yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you compact now, that's true. It will make the contacts and that kind of stuff. But actually, I found that the thing I found that when Claude updated their model, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, it started compacting a lot less. Before it was compacting every like 10 minutes, and now I rarely see it compacting. Like we haven't had a compact at all since we started doing this. Like it's been over an hour already. Okay, so when the pool is retained, the blah 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 pool. That's right. Okay, got it. Yes, that's correct. So now I think this should work because it's using the native gateway implementation. Still, still not opening position. Yeah, it's still not opening the position. Interesting. So looks like it is. Yeah, it's still failing the simulation. So, yeah, this is weird here. Why is this 0? Okay, where's base? Base token amount is the base token amount here. Let's actually try to do this manually. Actually, let's try to do it manually. All right, so let's see. Okay, could also be the price. Well, yeah, base token amount. Actually, do I have enough soul here? I do have enough soul. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's probably some stupid error that it's still making here, because basically, actually, let's try to do it manually. Let's try to do it manually. That'll be a good test. So dev. So what we're basically doing here is we're basically saying this. We want to quote position in the pool. Let's see of. I'm not ready. Okay, and then they were trying to create a pool of something like. It's a 68. This number. Okay. Do this number. Oh, that's why. Okay. The price has to be higher. Got it. Okay. Got it. Oh, I see. The price has to be higher. Right now. Okay. That's why. Okay. Right now, you are setting price lower than current, which is why it is failing. Yeah, that's why. Because basically, yeah, I can't do this because I need to set a price higher than the current one, not to do single-sided for Sol like this, not lower, right? That's right. Did it give me? It did not get. I did not get the. You're absolutely right, though. Window. I feel a little sad. You know, I was not absolutely right. I was only just basically right. All right, see ya. I want to wrap this up. I'm just trying to make sure this thing works before I close it out for the day. This should be very simple. So I don't know why it's. Why is it? Oh God, why is it multiplying? No. Oh wait. Oh Jesus Christ. Well, looks like it's gonna fix itself. Hopefully. Why is it hard coded? What the fuck? I feel like Claude made this too complicated. It shouldn't be that complicated. It should actually just get the pool info, figure out if it's inverted, and then do it as is. Okay, simplified it. It's really making up a lot of stuff. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and use this new version they have. You know, vibe code it entirely with nothing. So, okay, let's see. Let me exit. Start it. Limit range order auto. Okay, Raydium. Pool address, we'll use this one here. Token symbol to provide. Okay, I provide sol. I want to buy other token to sell this token. Oh, buy. This action thing is confusing. Action, one, okay. Rebalance when price moves by 0.2%. Okay, that actually did work. Okay, that did work, but I don't know why this says sol not found in pool. Oh, okay. Let me actually check this here. I think it's this. This is the issue. I should actually add this in, to be honest. Okay. I'm gonna try. Yeah, we actually should add this into the gateway because it's. Yeah. Okay. I'll just add a special case here. So this is still, why is this still, God damn it. I gotta fix this thing. I'll do this properly next time, I think, because this should be actually a very simple script to write, but it's because it's really this pool, yeah, this freaking pool stuff here. It's kind of annoying. So I should just use the sole USDC actually instead of doing this. I should have done that first and then this one actually. It's so stupid. All right. Okay. Let's just try this. Okay. I still think this is, unfortunately, we vibe coded this a bit too much. Should have actually started with a bit more of a design first, and then instead of just throwing random stuff at it. So that's why I'm actually not super happy with this script. I don't think it's a very good one, but the basic idea is that it should be able to set a single-sided range, either buy or sell, for any pool. Access allow. It. Oh, Gary's offline. Whoops. Stop. Okay. So now we confirmed it. So now, okay, now it's correct in that, no, it's not. It's not correct. Yeah, it's, fuck. It's adding, see, it added some ray as well here. So I don't know why I added any ray at all. I should have just added sol. Oh, actually, no, it's probably because it moved. It might have moved. Actually, never mind. It could have moved a little bit. I still feel like I should have, just used array here. But, all right, so now it's working. And then now we look at status live. So yeah. Anyway, so I think clearly this limit range order script needs a bit more work in order to make it really be something you would want to use. But the good news is we were able to customize something using the gateway. And I think that, if I kind of worked on this script for a bit longer, I can probably get it to do everything I want to do. So a lot of the complication for this stuff, it really is like making sure you're buying instead of selling, you're buying the right asset and not selling it, getting the right prices, not inverted. So that's why I would actually recommend, before you try to automate something using Gateway, I would just do it manually first. Kind of just set positions manually, make sure you know exactly what you want, and then once you can have a repeatable pattern, you should be able to automate that using Gateway. So, all right, thanks everyone. It's been a long one, but I think I think you can see this is how the how coding actually works for bots is really just a lot of trial and error, and making sure that the simple stuff works before you move on to something more complex. So I think next week will be off because we're in Singapore for the Ripple Apex conference. But I think that probably in 2 weeks I'll probably continue on and show you kind of the final version of the series. I think that one will probably be looking at the 2.7 release of Gateway, which should add some more improvements in terms of how it interacts with endpoints. But right now, I would say if you're testing out yourself, I think you can already use Gateway in terms of just hitting these endpoints either by themselves or automating scripts with them using Hummingbot. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.